Okay, today's topic is constellations. Um, in order to more easily locate objects in the sky, we divide the sky into different regions and we name those familiar patterns of stars constellations. So, like in ancient times, people use these imaginary pictures outlined by familiar patterns to use as to refer to as constellations. However, modern astronomers they divide the sky into 88 official constellations or regions of space. Okay, many of which contain these familiar patterns. So in modern astronomy, um, the whole sky is divided into 88 official constellations. So in this case here, so this is called Orion constellation, and this whole region here covers not only Orion constellations, but also other objects inside this constellation. Why we need to talk about constellations? The first reason is um, you can orient yourself on Earth with the help of easily recognized constellations. There are a lot of very easily recognized constellations in the sky. For instance, if you look at here, this picture, this is a very familiar constellation, which is called Ursa Major, and sometimes people call it Big Dipper. And then if you once you identify this constellation in the sky, if you look at these two stars in this particular constellation and connect these two stars, it's going to point towards Polaris, which is called North Star. North Star is a moderately bright star, and also it is located almost directly over the Earth's North Pole. Once you know North Star and you are able to identify directions, when you face Polaris, you are facing north. East is on your right, south is behind you, and west is on your left. So that's the first reason. The second reason why we talk about constellations is that if we use these easily recognized constellations, and they will make it easy for us to locate other stars and other constellations in the sky. So for instance, if you look at this picture here, once we know North Star, which is part of Ursa Minor or Little Dipper, you can identify Little Dipper very easily. Or if you go back to Big Dipper here, if you look at these two stars, if you're connecting these two stars, it's going to point towards Regulus, which is part of a Leo constellation. And if you go along this arch here, you're going to meet Arcturus, which is part of the Boötes constellation. If you go a little bit further, you're going to see Spica, which is the brightest star in the Virgo constellation. During the summertime, actually, there's a typical pattern you can see in the sky, which is called summer triangle. So if you look at Lyra constellation, okay, so Vega from Lyra constellation, Deneb from Cygnus constellation, and also Altair from Aquila constellation. These three stars, they are the brightest stars in the summertime, so they form summer triangle. Okay, and if you look at the winter sky, one of the easily recognized constellations is called Orion constellation. Okay, you can see the shoulders here, you can see the belt, and you can see the feet here. Okay, you can very easily recognize this pattern during the winter time. Okay, so please pay attention to that when winter is coming. Then there is winter triangle. So Betelgeuse from Orion constellation, and then this star from the Canis Minor, and then this star from the Canis Major. These three stars, they form what is called winter triangle. There are some other familiar constellations in the winter sky as well. One is called Taurus, and you can see here, and the other one is called Gemini constellation, and there are two bright stars in the Gemini constellation. One is called Polus, and the other one is called Castor. Okay. On Blackboard, under assignments, I posted second homework. The second homework is about a list of constellations as well as some very famous objects inside each constellation. I intend to ask you to get familiar with those constellations as well as objects inside each constellation. That's why I post that sheet online, and then I hope that you can use that sheet to work on your second homework. And so constellations actually, we can use constellations to describe an entire region of the sky and all the objects in that region. But sometimes astronomers actually, they require more accuracy in locating dim objects than is possible simply by moving from constellation to constellation. That's why we are going to talk about celestial sphere actually in class, so which will be more accurate, accurate method to locate objects in the sky.